Now let's talk about the actual top five, our averages. Sonny Dykes. You had Sonny Dykes as your number five. I had him at six, just behind Joey Maguire. Which is interesting to a lot of people. Which is interesting to a lot of people. But let me ask you this, Christopher. If you were to put Ed Orgeron in the Big 12, where would you rank him coaching wise?
Huh. Well, I think what team matters for sure, but he is, I don't know, outside the top 10. I, I,
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
get,
No, I'm not trying to compare Sonny Dykes to. He's not. Sonny Dykes is not like Ed Orgeron. He's not going to fizzle out. He has his program recruiting at a top two level in the Big 12. He probably has the best transfer portal haul out of any school in the Big 12 year over year. I like the talent on his football team. Like the direction of TCU is very bright, and I always like. And Kendall Briles is whatever, but I like his staff generally. Generally, I like his staff. So I like Sonny Dykes. I have him at six, like just behind Joey Maguire, like just behind Joey Maguire. That national championship year, he did a really good job bringing in some elite transfers, but also a lot of that roster was not his roster, right? It was Gary Patterson's roster. You don't want to fall into the uh not
the
saying
Ogeron.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but like Ed Orgeron, right, inherited a really good roster. Lincoln Riley underratedly
Nah, no, 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 no,
inherited some
no,
really
no,
good.
no, 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 no way. Okay, okay, okay. Say what you want.
I'm
Keep
not
going,
I'm
keep
not
going.
I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying like you can't just use that national championship appearance, right, to justify him being like you don't just use that to evaluate him, right? Like you come in the next
Yeah,
year and you win 5 games. What happened? Right? Now you lost a lot of guys. Okay, but what happened? You know? You still retained like 2 years in a row he has started the wrong quarterback. 2 years in a row.
Chandler. You mean Chandler Morris?
Yeah. Yeah. Rule number
Oh
one,
God,
whoever the Chandler Morris's backup is a very good quarterback.
he's like
So
Tyrod Taylor. He's like the anti Matt Flynn.
yeah.
He
No, no,
just
look,
wins
don't get me
every
wrong.
time.
I am ready to I'm almost there. Like I'm almost ready to hammer TCU's win total over next year. I still have I'm just trying to make the argument, for Joey McGuire and Sonny Dykes. I'm just saying it is closer than people think. And I think it's fair to say that Joey McGuire, for some people, Joey McGuire is a better coach than Sonny Dykes. For some people, Sonny Dykes is a better coach than Joey McGuire.
I will
Apples,
say, yeah,
sorry, say that.
to to defend Sonny Dykes here, yes, I do think going 5-7 is just about inexcusable. After having the year you had, you brought in a really good transfer class. You thought you had the
Hmm.
quarterback figured out. I get it. You lost a ton to the NFL. I get that. But you had a tough schedule, right? You caught Colorado at the worst time. They played their best game. They played their best football all year, right? And it was a team that you had no idea what to prepare for. And you're playing Colorado, and Shador went crazy. Travis Hunter
But
went crazy. It
on the
was,
other side of things, they didn't know what to prepare for. You had an entirely new offensive staff. Now, granted, you still put up points, but defensively, man, about how good that defense was last year, and sure you lost an edge rusher and two people in the
corner.
defensive backfield
Yes.
and a linebacker. So you lost some guys, but man,
Again,
jeez.
again, borderline inexcusable. But hey, Colorado, right? You lost to, West Virginia, who was playing really good football at the time. Lost at Iowa State, which is tough to play in, and obviously Matt Campbell is pretty darn frisky at times. Kansas State, not going to fault you for that. Texas, not going to fault you for that. Oklahoma, not going to fault you for that. A lot of these games, team and Texas Tech, right? A guy Joey McGuire, you're super high on, and they on the road at Texas Tech is not easy to play on. So like, it was a tough schedule. I think TCU again, another one of those teams that gets better and does appreciate the new Big 12. I think they're a team you mentioned they're recruiting in their
Absolutely.
transfer portal. These guys, they are in the state of Texas. We talked about Texas Tech recruiting Texas. We've talked about Houston recruiting Texas. TCU, 18 of the 20 commits this year, signees are from the state of Texas. That is a good recipe, which I love, including your cream of the crop, Haas Jenny, right? The quarterback from Alito, Texas. Super exciting there. And obviously, um, Geico Baker from Brownsboro. So, yeah, we will see how they brought in a bunch of transfers again to try to figure out, plug some holes. I think a lot has to change, and I think it will. I believe in Sonny Dykes. They caught lightning in the bottle. Yes. Yes, they did. They regressed to the mean. Yes, I think a little bit lower than the mean. I think this year, year three, is how I'll really judge Sonny Dykes and see, hey,
Hmm.
is he for real or is it like, hey, was it a one hit wonder type thing? I tend to believe that they're going to make a big time improvement this year. You mentioned
I
hitting our
agree.
over. We will see when I get my deep dives in TCU and the Big 12. I might really think about it for sure. But I still have faith for the future that they can, win a good amount of football because TCU, we've seen them do it, right? Under Gary Patterson back in the Mountain West, won a ton of football with Andy Dalton and the fellows back there, and then with Trevon Boykin in the Big 12, we're a game away from the college football playoffs, right? And maybe even winning it all that year. So you can do well here at TCU, and they have, and he has, and so we'll see if he can get back to that level.
Yeah, I love Sonny Dykes. I think he's a great coach. By me comparing him to Ed Orgeron, that wasn't to compare him to Ed Orgeron. That was just saying like, hey, let's relax, let's see more. Right? We've seen both ends of the spectrum with this guy. I would just like to see more. And like, is this transfer portal model going to work perfectly? Now, I still think he's recruiting at a pretty decent level compared to the rest of the teams in the Big 12. So I think he'll be fine in the new Big 12 in terms of talent. But let's just see. Let's see. I mean, again, I have him sixth. You have him fifth. So that kind of right on par there. So
Got a question for you here. So Sonny Dykes and TCU, you think they have the best chance to win a national title of anybody next 5 years in the Big 12?
a national title.
Or college football playoff, but I'll leave that national title. I want to say national title.
I, yeah, gosh, I mean, I don't think any of these teams can win a national title. But
Well, I need I be careful saying that. I'm gonna clip that. Our
dude,
viewers gonna hold you accountable for that. You can never say never in the college football playoffs, but yeah, I get your point. I get your point. Fine, we'll go college football playoffs.
which
TCU
team has
seems
the
like a team.
like? Okay, in the next 5 years, you're saying which Big 12 team is going to win the most conference championships in the next 5 years?
Oh, you automatic bid. Da da da. Never mind then.
But
Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
you're right though. Well, which team is going to win the most Big 12 championships in these next years? I mean, I see three or four teams that are kind of going to be perennial with like a couple sleepers every year, and TCU is one of the
And
perennials.
exactly. And that's my main point is like this is a legit program. This is a legit upper echelon program in the new Big 12.
Absolutely.